What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Elfnit3ff's here bringing you NFL picks week 11. This is Madden 16, and right now I am showcasing what I think is the most important game this week. That is Green Bay versus Minnesota, which I will cover shortly. But first, let's go at Thursday's game: Titans versus Jaguars. Two young quarterbacks, two struggling offenses and defenses. But at the end of the day, I think Titans will win 28-24. Mariota is going to shine against a struggling defense. Although I do see Blake Bortles, throwing a couple touchdowns, maybe an interception. And in the end, I say it's going to be a close enough game where you really can't go with the spread and over and under. Next, Raiders versus Lions. I do give credit to Detroit winning their first game in Lambeau Field in 25 years. But I really can't see them repeating that type of success against the Raiders, which I think is one of, a pretty decent team. 4-5, but a very good team. Derek Carr, Cooper, Crabtree. I'm expecting a much better game, and I am expecting Murray to get to that 80 yards mark. I'm not sure what Calvin Johnson is going to do. He almost gave up a loss to Green Bay alone, so we'll see what happens. Final score 24-10. Next game, Colts versus Falcons. Colts without the great Andrew Luck, although they do have the best second string quarterback in the league in my opinion in Matt Hasselbeck. I think the Falcons are back to what they were a couple years ago, where they're just struggling overall, bottom of their division. Above Tampa, but everyone's above Tampa. I'm expecting 28-24. That's right, Matt Hasselbeck is going to lead the Colts. They are going to win their division this year just because they are in the weakest division. No offense to the other teams. Jets versus Texans. Jets had a hard one against Buffalo, but they always have problems against the AFC East. That's just the type of matchups they have. I'm seeing a 31-10 Jets over Texans. I honestly can't see much offense coming from the Texans right now, especially if their number one receiver is only going to catch less than 7. He's going to need at least 10 plus catches a game, really, to lead that team to a victory. And that's going to be hard to do against a very good Jets defense, very scrappy. And the Jets are going to run all over this team with their superb running back, Chris Ivory, and dual threat receivers in Marshall and Decker. Buccaneers versus Eagles. I give credit to the Bucs for beating Dallas last week. I'm a Miami fan, so I can't say much about the Eagles, but I do see them bouncing back this week just because they've got too many good players in that team not to do well against a Buccaneers team that we did, see lose a lot to first-year Marcus Mariota in the first week. I'm expecting something very similar styles of offense, very quick, and I don't think they'll be able to handle. Final score 31-10. Broncos versus Bears next. Can the Broncos win without the greatest quarterback of all time? I think they can. Brock Osweiler is 6'6", 6'10". He is very good. I see him throwing for at least 300 yards. They still have Thomas and Sanders, so and the superb defense they've been having all year. I'm expecting 24-14 Broncos. Jay Cutler and the Bears have been doing very well, but I can't see them winning another one. Rams versus Ravens. This is one of the games where I really don't know what to say. Todd Gurley is the Rams offense right now, especially since they switched up quarterbacks. The Ravens been struggling without Steve Smith Sr., but I do see the veteran play in Joe Flacco getting them the win 17-10 over the Rams. Redskins versus Panthers. This is my only upset that I'm picking this week. I just have a really good hunch. Kirk Cousins has been playing well. To see the Redskins defense stop a Saints offense that's one of the best in the leagues, I'm thinking they might be able to do it 2 weeks in a row against an offense of the Panthers that really don't put up that many points a game. We'll just see what can Kirk Cousins do against a very, very good Panthers defense. If he can limit his interceptions to at least one, the Redskins really have a chance. I'm picking 14-13 Redskins. Next, Chiefs versus Chargers. This is one of those games where I'm just expecting Phillip Rivers to really show his veteran play. 27-17. Can the Chargers stop the run? I don't know. That might be a factor. 49ers versus Seahawks. This is one. I'm sorry, 49ers fans. I can't really support this team in any way at this point. I don't think they're bad. It's just they don't play well against the Seahawks defense. I'm picking Seattle 21-6. Bengals versus Cardinals, very important game, but I do have the Cardinals winning 28-24. Hopefully Andy Dalton doesn't get shut down like he did in Monday Night Football. If he does, the Cardinals will win. If he plays well, it will be a much closer game, but I have the Cardinals winning. Next, most important game, what I've got, my number one matchup for the week. The number one in the division, Vikings, versus the number two, Packers. Packers have lost 3 in a row, but in my opinion, they're still the Packers. They still have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now in Aaron Rodgers. And although they've been allowing a decent amount of rushing yards, it's hard to say they'll be able to stop Adrian Peterson. But if it's a game of outscoring, I'm sure Green Bay will be able to do it. Look for Randall Cobb, Adams, Jones, and their running back to do well. I'm expecting the Packers to win 28-21. Don't quote me, but I think they win the division this year, even though the Vikings have been playing very well. Finally, Monday Night Football. We've got the Bills versus the Patriots. Although I would say the Packers game is the most important game of Sunday, I think this is the most important game of the week. The Patriots, as a Miami fan, I really wouldn't want to see the Patriots go undefeated this year just because, it's hard to be a Fins fan right now. All we've got is that undefeated season. That's all we can ever talk about because besides that, we've been rather horrible in the last decade, well, especially since I've been watching. But Bills versus the Patriots, I'm not picking the upset mainly because the Patriots just have everyone's number in the AFC East. They're playing so well. Even without Edelman, they really just need to pick up the next guy. I'm not going to say anyone can run the Patriots offense, but any decent player can do well in the Patriots system. That's just what I'm saying. They took a previous quarterback in Edelman and turned him into one of the best receivers in the league. And that's without, any number one. Their best player in the team at that time was Gronk, which is a tight end. And that was without their second tight end, Hernandez, at the time too. I'm expecting Tom Brady to play a much more smoother game, not like he did against New York. In the end, I'm thinking it's much closer than it was last week, or the last time they matched up. 35-31 Patriots, though. I do see them losing sometime, but just not today. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Good luck to your other teams, and shoots.